Do you know that South America alone contributes more than 15% of the world's total marine fish production? That means out of every 7 fish caught in the ocean, more than 1 comes from the South American waters. So just how do fishermen here manage to harvest millions of tons of seafood each year? In the cold waters off Peru, the radar screen in the cabin suddenly shows a dense cluster of signals. With just a quick glance, the captain knows a massive school of anchovies is moving right beneath the surface. Anchovies are small, yet they are still one of the most heavily exploited species in South America. Peru and Chile alone account for around 74% of global anchovy production, helping meet the average seafood consumption of 55 pounds per person per year. Once the school's location is pinpointed, the vessel immediately moves into fishing position. A smaller boat tows one end of the net away from the main ship, spreading the encirclement wide across the open sea. The ships begin circling, deploying the purse seine net to fully enclose the school, forming a gigantic pocket just below the surface. Once the net is fully closed, the bottom drawstring is pulled tight, preventing any escape. In many other countries, this is where the hardest labour begins. Fishermen must haul the net up by hand, metre by metre, under the weight of tons of fish. It's grueling, time-consuming work, and the fish quality can suffer. In Peru, this process has been completely transformed. Once the net is pulled close to the ship's side, a large suction hose is lowered into the water. The anchovies are pumped directly from the sea onto the boat, quickly rinsed with seawater and transferred immediately to storage. This method keeps the fish fresh, minimises spoilage, and saves maximum time. Right after docking, the catch is sold to traders or sent to processing plants. It serves as a key raw material for producing fish meal and fish oil, major export products that bring significant economic value to the South American region. Off the coast of Ecuador, a fishing vessel is slowing down. Beneath them, a bottom trawl net is scraping the sea bed. A crew member climbs onto one of the net frames to adjust its position. No life jackets, no safety lines, one slip and he could disappear into the cold sea in seconds. Yet this is the harsh reality of bottom trawl shrimp fishing off South America. A grueling, high-risk job, yet it yields enormous volumes. Forecasts show that South American shrimp production will continue to grow at around 3 to 6% per year in the coming years, with Ecuador leading and potentially approaching a 2 million tonne total in output. During trawling, the fishing vessel moves at very slow speed, only around 1.7 to 2.3 miles per hour. The net drags along the bottom, scooping up shrimp that encounter its mouth. Every adjustment must be made while the ship is moving, an extremely dangerous task in rough seas. After a few hours, the ship slows and begins retrieving the net. Heavy bags full of hundreds of pounds of shrimp are hauled onto the deck. Fishermen pull the bottom strings, dump the entire load into the hold in a thick, flowing stream. This is when the biggest drawback of bottom trawling becomes clear. Shrimp get mixed in with all other types of marine life as bycatch: small fish, crabs, squid and bottom dwellers. On deck, fishermen sit together hunched over, sorting each haul amidst the strong fishy smell and damp sea chill. This work can last for hours. Once the shrimp are separated, they begin quickly gathering them into baskets and rinsing them to maintain quality. From there, they head to the processing plants where it becomes raw materials for major export industries. Another South American country famous for its seafood industry is Chile. Here, small pelagic fish make up more than 70% of wild capture production, with jack mackerel being one of the most important species. They often gather in large, fast-moving, unpredictable schools near the coast. To locate these schools, the most crucial equipment on board isn't the net, it's sonar. Chilean fishermen use various sonar systems with scanning ranges between 490 and 984 feet, creating a living map of the ocean right inside the wheelhouse. When the sonar detects sufficiently large jack mackerel schools, the per-sign net process begins. Crew members must coordinate precisely every second, as the net's speed and weight can be dangerous if it entangles anyone. Floats keep the top of the net at the surface while the weights sink to the bottom, forming a sealed circle around the school. Once the school is fully encircled, steel cables are tightened to close the bottom. Then the entire crew hauls the net aboard, pulling and neatly stacking it. A huge scoop quickly lifts the jack mackerel into the hold. On deck, there's no room for disorder. One mistake could ruin the next trip. However, heavy fishing isn't always beneficial. In 2011, due to overexploitation and lack of control, jack mackerel biomass in Chile dropped by 63% just between 2006 to 2011, pushing the entire industry to the brink of collapse. Only after implementing strict quotas and sustainable management did Chile's jack mackerel industry gradually recover. Today, it has become a large volume, sustainably certified fishery, with products mainly exported as frozen and canned fish. Next up is the Peruvian tuna. Known for its aromatic flavour and firm flesh, it is exported to many countries. In recent years, tuna catch has surged dramatically, with landings increasing by 193% and exports growing by 32%. However, catching this species is far from easy. The flesh bruises and spoils quickly if not handled properly, especially the skipjack tuna. So even though trips can last 3 to 6 days, most fishermen aim to reduce in just 3 to 4 days and return to shore as quickly as possible. The most common method for skipjack tuna catching here is the pole and line fishing. Fishermen use fake lures shaped like small octopuses to provoke strikes. Although it involves long lines, the Peruvian system only uses around 10 hooks, unlike Japan's long line method. This means everything depends entirely on human focus. When a fish bites, the fisherman must haul it in immediately while avoiding the thrashing sharp hooks. Sometimes bites come in rapid succession, allowing them to pull in 2 to 3 fish at once.
Dos a la vez.
Alongside small boats, larger fishing vessels also join, using purse signs to encircle the entire school when they surface. This method is much more efficient than pole and line, but attracts an unwelcome rival. Sea lions often follow the engine noise. They charge in to steal the fish from nets or lines, even tearing the nets open during the scramble. For Peruvian fishermen, it's a constant battle of wits amongst humans, fish, and the other ocean predators. Beneath the crystal clear Caribbean waters, all sounds seem to vanish. No engine noise, no clanging metal, only a heartbeat and breathing that grows shorter. In many parts of South America, especially Caribbean nations like Venezuela, spearfishing remains strong and thriving. The year-round warm seas, shallow coral reefs, and clear offshore waters create ideal conditions for hunting marine species. In fact, spearfishing dates back to ancient times. For river and coast-dwelling communities, it was once a vital way to obtain food. Over centuries, as commercial fishing boats and modern gear emerged, this method faded from survival role and evolved in another direction, becoming a beloved global sport. Today, spearfishers use modern spear guns. They wear specialized dive gear, carry tanks or freedive, slowly descending into the crystal clear water. Before them swim free schools of fish across the ocean. It looks leisurely, but they remain highly alert. The hunter must maintain steady breathing, observe fish movements, and calculate distance before waiting for the perfect moment. When the target enters the range, the shot must be decisive. Hesitate for a second and the opportunity vanishes. Unlike nets or rods, spearfishing is a direct confrontation between human and fish. No ton-scale hauls, no massive volumes, just one shot, one fish, and the hunter's skill. The silence, focus, and individuality make spearfishing not just a fishing method, but a way to connect with the ocean in its most primal form, just as ancestors have done thousands of years before.